I'm just gonna copy what some of the all-time highest traders are doing. I go down the list. The numbers are too big, bro. Like, these guys have done like 20 million in a week.
Trading based on the system, not bias. That's what I love about the whole buck strategy. You know what I mean? Not like, man, but I really want that 77k BTC. Well, there's a 78k BTC in front of me. Like,
if you don't want a big money suggestion, first of all, I'm just gonna say this, and everybody needs to hear this. Do not vibe code shit, bro. Like, I know
the content presented in this podcast is intended for informational and educational purposes only. It should not be considered as financial advice, and listeners are encouraged to conduct their own research or consult with a qualified professional before making any investment decisions.
Crypto flip.
I have been involved in crypto since 2020. Started with nothing. My net worth peaked around 100k. Around the same time, I discovered leverage trading and cocaine. It all went down here because of
oh, sorry.
Wow.
Important details,
I
but
wasn't ready for that.
never was I.
What?
Took out loans. Now I'm 80k in debt. But doing less blow, so that's good, I guess. I hate working. I hate working, so I'm just getting unemployment benefits from the government while my debt is growing because of interest. They want me to work, but I just go to the doctor and give them some BS story that I am too stressed and not able to work. The money keeps coming. After all, expenses are paid. The rest goes into leverage trading in the hopes and dreams I will make it one day.
My
This guy, what he worked out the infinite money glitch, bro. Like, imagine if you're trading, it's like, do you know what's mad? It's like he's trading on a demo account, except it's his real account. Like, if this guy hits one good trade, it doesn't matter. Risk management doesn't matter, bro. You can just gamble because the money's coming back the next day, right? And guess what? You ain't got to do for it. So imagine this Donya he could spend his whole day researching to then get the P's to make the trade. If he makes one good trade, bro, he's clear. Obviously, this is ultimate degeneracy, and I don't think anyone should do this, and especially the fact that he's fraudulently claiming benefits from the government. He's the worst kind of scumbag on the planet. But looking beyond all of that, I'm just saying, this guy, yeah, he sussed it, man.
Yeah, I can't look past that though. Honestly, I can't. I've tried to look past it, but I can't, bro. There's so many reasons why you don't touch leverage trading, and then if you do decide to touch it, there's obviously certain nuances, rules, and systems you have to follow, have to put in place. And I was like, burn all that. On top of that, I'm gonna trade while I'm high on cocaine. That is crazy to me, honestly. And personally, for me, I think it's a situation where like he's what is wrong with this benefit system, because you're just wasting money on clowns that don't want to work, fam. This guy is literally getting government money, aka taxpayers' money, siphoning it back into his pocket to help, help with his loans on these risky trades. Like, I can't look past this. I just can't. The whole, dude, you don't touch leverage trading. It's either you do one or the other, bro. If you want to go do coke, cool. Go do your thing on the side. Leave trading out of it. But if this is what you want to do, exit liquidity. I mean, that's how we always say, fam. I mean, keep trading while you're blazed on cocaine and see what happens. That's what I have to say, man. I can't believe this.
It worked for Jordan Belfort, just saying.
This guy is not Jordan Belfort, bro.
I was about to say, if Jordan Belfort had a son, this would be him.
Facts.
Honestly. But nah, this guy's lost it, man. The only thing that's saving this guy is the fact that, the checks keep coming from the government. But, as dumb as the government are, they're not stupid. At some point, you're not going to be able to, just keep passing off this stress thing. And obviously, you'll probably try and move to something else. I wouldn't be surprised if you start harming yourself to physically stop yourself from working just so you can, leverage trade. But you're going to have to make a decision, man. And I think that first decision should be to stop the cocaine. Wipe that snow off your nose, and at least if you're not going to work,
wipe that snow off your nose.
Do it sober. Do it sober. But yeah.
Wow.
Ultimate degenerate.
Ultimate.
Let's go on to the next one. Bought 10 Bitcoin off Mt. Gox in early 2013. It 10x the same year, and I fell for Bitcoin is a bubble FUD. Cashed out in Amazon gift cards, was getting it back into USD back then. I bought myself a bookshelf, sci-fi books, and a pair of work shoes for 10 BTC basically. I still have the bookshelf and sci-fi books. I look at it every day. If this is posted, I'll take a picture of it when I get home from my cuck job, since it's taken me 12 years to learn an effing lesson. So he basically spent 10 Bitcoin from Mount Gox on a bookshelf, some sci-fi books, and some work shoes. 10 Bitcoin. How much is that now? It's probably...
I don't even want to check. It's
Well,
like 850,000.
Yeah, almost $1 million.
Almost $1 million that this guy could have had.
This guy exchanged 10 Bitcoins, almost $1 million, for a bookshelf, sci-fi books, a pair of work shoes. That's it. For 10 Bitcoin.
I'm not going to lie. Obviously, some people would rather have all of those things than 850K, bro. See what I'm saying? Some people. Obviously. But some man.
If you think a bookshelf, a couple of shoes, and sci-fi books is worth more than 10 Bitcoin?
Oh, hold on. I'm going to come to this guy's defense for a second. Right, this was in 2013. I entered the game in late 2013, early 2014, right? Back then, it's easy to say now in hindsight, but back then, it wasn't a sure banker that this was going to be, the future of money, the future of finance, and, a store of wealth, etc. So, if he's made a little bit and he thought, you know what, let me go and get myself a nice new bookshelf. Is it that bad, really?
Yes. It's not bad. It's not. No. I hear what you're saying. It's not bad. But what I would say is, if you wanted to sell some, sell one, maybe two, because there's a reason why you bought Bitcoin in the first place. Not liquidate your entire portfolio, and you bought sci-fi books, bookshelf, and a couple of work shoes, which means you don't want to be free anyway, fam. You want to keep working. So keep working. I bought work shoes, fam. Not even training. I bought work shoes. I'm dead.
Boy, at least he bought something productive. What would I do if I was this guy now? Yeah, I'd use those work shoes, go to work, get some money, and buy some more Bitcoin. Unfortunately, it's not 2013 levels, and it never will be. But hey, better late than never, they say.
But do you know what's an indictment on him though? He seems like he's already given up because he had plenty of opportunity to get back to the market. You know what I mean?
True.
He's now basically committed to, I made this mistake, there's no coming back from it. Whatever mistake you make, other than killing someone, you can always come back from it. And I mean, there are people that have liquidated their entire portfolio and thinking it's the end of the run, and then it's actually got another freaking leg to go. So, like, you can come back if you just stay focused on, dude, you went back to your 9 to 5. Which you hate. Come on, man. He has not taken any steps to be free. He doesn't want to be free. He wants to be in the system, trenching every day.
Hey, it's for some people, man. It's for some people. But welcome back to the Crypto Flip podcast. I am your host, Harris King, and I am joined once again with my co-hosts, Ricardo and Deji. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe if you're watching on YouTube, and if you're listening on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you like to listen to your podcasts, please leave a review because it enables us to make more episodes. So this week we've done something special. Well, one of us has done something really special, and that's Ricardo. He's built a trading bot on Hyperliquid, and he's about to tell us exactly what he's learned.
All right, listen, I'm about to go through this whole story. So, yeah. All right. So for everyone that doesn't know, I love Hyperliquid. Hyperliquid is a great exchange. They're decentralized exchange. So let me tell you about what I did. So I basically built a profitable strategy on Hyperliquid, and I'll spill the beans because why not? That's why you come to the pod, right? So if you don't know, Hyperliquid allows you, they have a bunch of APIs, application programming interfaces, where basically you can interact with it. If you don't know what API is, go look it up. You can use those APIs and you can basically you can do anything on the exchange. You can make orders, you can edit orders, you can increase your leverage, reduce your leverage, you can add take profit, stop loss, you can subscribe to what other users are doing, i.e. their buys and their sells, and then you can copy what they're doing. So first I went in, I'm like, all right, I'm going to build out like a real complicated strategy. But that's really hard to do. And so while I've been working on that, I'm like, in the meantime, here's what I'm going to do. So Hyperliquid has a leaderboard. On that leaderboard, you can see who's making money and who's not making money. You can see like the top traders over the last 24 hours, 7 days, 14 days, and I think 30 days, and then like all time. So I'm like, I'm just going to copy what some of the all-time highest traders are doing. I go down the list. The numbers are too big, bro. Like, these guys have done like 20 million in volume. And if you know crypto and you know buys and sells of any financial asset, you know that if you copy the big boys, unless you have the same amount in your portfolio and you're using the exact same weightings, you basically could lose, because they could be trading so frequently and paying so much in fees, because the fees are like 0.05%, but like on an account like that, it could rack up. And for an account that's a lot smaller, it could just wipe you out. But I thought, forget it. I'm like, all right, for the last 24 hours, I'm going to copy the top 10 best traders on Hyperliquid. Now, I'm not going to lie. I say that now, and I just realized how stupid that sounds. But trust me, yeah, when I first started, I was like, hey, this is brilliant. I'm just going to copy the top 10. These man, with like reasonable volume, these man are doing well. To be on the Hyperliquid board, you have to have more than 10K in volume, which isn't hard to do, because you can basically just like trade a bunch of circles. Like if you buy, let's say you buy, I don't know, 0.1 Bitcoin with like 20x leverage, that will count as, 10K in like roughly like 8K, 8.5K in volume. So it's really easy to get the volume. So I copied these trend traders, and I was just like, and I'll give you real numbers. I put in $200. I'm like, I'm just going to throw $200. I'm just going to copy these 10 traders. I'm going to see how it goes. Bro, when I say my account, like these top 10 traders, bro, I thought they were like, clever people. Some of them would be like 40, 50% up, or even 300% up on the day. And I didn't want to copy their sends. I only wanted to copy their buys and sells of tokens. But some of these men are degens, and you realize just how lucky some traders get, and how quick the script can flip. So anyway, I copied the first 10. My 200 in the first week or so turned into something like 140, 150. And I was like, oh shit, I need to optimize. The code wasn't optimized. I was like, every time, let's say person 1 on the list and person 5 on the list makes a buy of BTC, essentially that would double up my position instead of checking to see if I have the position already and leaving the position. So I was getting some exposure to some dirty coins, like some scumbag coins. And I'm like, and they're not working. Like, you could get exposure to some scumbag coins and it turned out well. These weren't turning out well. So I was like, all right, let me optimize. Went back to the drawing board, optimized. And basically I was just like, if I already have a position, i.e. in BTC, and, number 7 and number 8 on the list decide to also buy BTC, I'm not going to add anything to the position. I'm just going to leave that position. However, if they decide to flip, so if number 4 decides he wants to short, then technically I want to sell my entire Bitcoin and then go short, which is not straightforward in the Hyperliquid SDK, but it took some figuring out, but I figured it out. But even now that I'm saying that, that is also a pretty stupid thing to do. Like, to follow 10 traders is to follow 10 completely different people from around the world, bro. It was stupid. Anyway, so I did that, and I saw my balance go up from like 150, 140 to something like 180, and I'm like, oh, cool. Like, this is it. Like, it was just the optimization. I left it running for like a week, and I decided to cut down the 10, from copying 10 traders to copying the top 5. I copied the top 5 traders, and so every day it was changing and using the new top 10 traders, which is also crazy. Like, I can't believe, but that's silly. It's silly. But yeah, the amount it was going down by wasn't so bad. It's like, in my mind, I was like, the worst that could happen is, let's say I'd lose $100, because I can't imagine these traders, like, because I'm trading with 2% of the portfolio size for each one of the trades that each of these people put on. I'm like, I'm not going to be wiped out. Like, I might lose tens of dollars at most. Anyway, So I'm now copying top 5. I'm like 150, and I decided, okay, this thing is just banging out trades. Like I built a dashboard, so I'm seeing trades like literally 4 or 5 trades a minute. I'm like, whoa, this is gonna wipe me out.
But when you worried,
And-
sorry to cut you off for it, but when you worried that
Yeah.
you could just get farms for, like, because obviously they were buying some stuff in the dumpsters, so
Yeah.
and so I'm sure some of them would probably obviously know that they're going to be copy traded. So weren't you worried that they'll just be dumping on you?
So here's the thing: nobody thought they'd be copy traded, because
Why do you say that?
copy
'Cause if
trading,
they're on the leaderboard, then surely
copy trading. Well, but copy trading is it's not a common thing to do on the Hyperliquid ledger, i.e., unless you're building it like I did, like you can't natively copy trade. So I thought in my mind, unlike, you have honeypots in Solana where you copy trade someone on Solana and they just buy a shit token and then you get locked in and they just keep doing buys. I've done that before. I've seen that happen before. That's terrible. On Hyperliquid, people are thinking that's less likely to happen until this podcast goes out. And so I wouldn't run into that issue. And because you're buying with leverage, technically, even if they buy into a honeypot, like it's on the Hyperliquid DEX, so you know that there's some level of liquidity there. So you're gonna be able to scale out of that position. Like I didn't get caught up in any token that was like you can't sell. There's no positions that was unsellable. And when I was looking through the coins, I said that it was in a dumpster, but these were like when coins were pumping, that's when they would come to light on here. Like things like TST. I remember TST, that test token that CZ created, the meme one. As soon as I hit Hyperledger, I saw like 2 or 3 people on my trading list taking trades on that. And bro, I did all right. I think like, remember, these are like at this point, these was like $20 bets with like 4 or 5x leverage. No, these are like $5 bets, which is the minimum amount of Hyperliquid, with 4 or 5x leverage. So we're talking $20 to $25. And at some point, some of these positions were up like $60, $70. And that's just like people shorting or people longing. So yeah, I wasn't worried about that, and I'm still not worried about that because small amount of the portfolio. Anyway, so this was banging trades, and I see the number just going down and down and down, and I'm pulling out the information. And I'm like, why these trades are not they're not crazy. So why is my portfolio size going down, bro? Obviously, it was trading fees. So
I was just about to say.
so I topped up back to 200 because I'm like, and I look at the trading fees. Even now, without ruining the story, but even now, I think the amount that I've spent on trading fees on Hyperliquid is like, since this bot went live, which was I think January, I've probably spent like $300-400 in trading fees. And obviously with a portfolio that was that small, $200, I'm like, so, but at this point, yeah, I'm like 20% down. I'm like, okay, so basically it's trading fees. If I refine this, switch out my trading fees, refine this and increase the account balance, then the trading fees will be more negligible. So I upped it to 500. And then I got really specific with the traders I wanted to follow. I'm like, because I was following some people that were clearly degens. Like people, I don't know what time zone these people are in here, but imagine someone's putting a trade on at 1 p.m., 1 a.m., like 2 p.m., 3 p.m., 4 a.m.
That's
DJs don't sleep, bro. DJs
Don't sleep. It wasn't a bot, bro. It wasn't a bot. It wasn't a bot. Because when you
If we
look
ever
at
make merch,
in between
if we ever
trades,
make merch, I want a t-shirt that says DJs don't sleep.
we will.
Hey, don't steal that because you heard it here first.
DJs definitely don't sleep. So I upped it to 500. And then I was like, all right, I'm going to let this run, whatever the fees are, whatever. And I chose 2 or 3 good traders on the platform that were good, but also weren't trading like the dumpster coins. Now, just before I did this, the reason what gave me the conviction to throw some more money in it is because the account went down to, I think at this point, I decided to go up to $300 before I went to 500. The account went down by about $60, $70. And I'm like, cool. Oh, $80. I'm looking at the number here now. But imagine over the next 2 days, and this was the end of February, over the next 2-3 days, it went up like $100. I'm like, that's interesting. And basically, I realize every time there's tariff news or every time there's a massive swing in the market, like these group of people on Hyperliquid, they are, I don't want to say they're always right, but they're predominantly right, bro. And because of that, you basically capture a market move without doing anything. So I was like, that's also interesting because these are moves that you and I wouldn't have been able to catch. I'm talking about things like, okay, forget Melania and Trump. Those were crazy pumps. But I'm talking about things like tariff news, crypto dropping 15%. I call like 10% of that move with leverage on ETH, on BTC, on Solana, on XRP, like on bear coins. Because these man are just, these degens are just on the market and they're like, short, let me short. My copy bot says, are these man shorting? Let me jump on this short. Yeah. And flip side, market's pumping. Bare people decide I'm gonna pump. I'm gonna go long, and I jump in on the long. Obviously, this has clear like routes to go wrong. But yeah, up to now, the account is sitting at about $570, which is up from where it started. I think I'm probably like overall 15% up. And trust me, it's been higher and it's been lower. But yeah, now I reduced the amount of people that I'm following. And yeah, like I'm just gonna leave this going. I could probably invest a lot more into this and copy like a specific person or get more people that I want to copy and then add them to the list or even segment it. Like there's a bunch of stuff I wanted to do with this. I wanted to have like sentiment analysis, go to Twitter, do some stuff. Like I'm gonna do all of that, but this was just like version 1. And version 1 is reasonably is profitable right now. I haven't lost any money. And the maddest thing is my P&L technically is positive, but with the $400-500 now that I've spent in fees, like my P&L I could have been sat with like 100% gain on this if there was no fees, but also if I knew if I took fees into consideration earlier on. So yeah, listen, that's how the bot's looking now. I'm still gonna be pushing through on this, so yeah, keep following, subscribe, and you get some more updates. But yeah, this is I'm not gonna share any code with you lot because hold tight, you lot. But yeah, I might just make a website, and you can decide you want to stalk some portfolios or stalk some wallets if you want. But yeah.
Yeah, maybe that's a number we can put in the Discord.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, and also if you want immediate access, think you jump on our Discord. So there's that one as well. So also, I mean, I have so many. I mean, we could spend a while talking about this, but I've got 2 things I want to talk about. So obviously, I've been exploring similar options as well. And one thing I like about your strategy is, trust me, I know this for a fact, especially when you have so many things that you have to do in a day. Go to gym, family, work. You know what I mean? Trying to have a semblance of a normal life, eat. You know what I mean? You have all these crazy strategies, but it's gonna take some time. But in terms of getting in the market, getting active, I like the idea of kind of like seeing. It's kind of like directional trading, essentially. You know what I mean?
It is, yeah.
Tell what the direction is. Like maybe the 10 was a bit too much, but when you shrunk it down to like top 6, I think that's a really excellent strategy in my opinion. And then that's something that, anyone listening can even try and do it. I think that like I don't know, I haven't thought of it. Well, just because sure I haven't basically played with Hyperliquid enough, and obviously that's gonna change. But I like that strategy. Yeah, and then the next one, my main question is, what is kind of like, obviously, now that you're starting to get more profit and the P&L's going up, for like the trajectory is up now, what are kind of like the quick plans you have around, the whole alpha decay? Because, because I still don't know how you mitigate that trading fees thing. Yes, you might reduce your trading amount, but like, what is kind of like your quick strategy to kind of mitigate the, like P&L decay, essentially, even alpha decay?
Yeah. So technically, there's no way to negate the effects of the trading fees. I have a suggestion, but this is big money suggestion. If you don't want a big money suggestion, first of all, I'm just gonna say this, and everybody needs to hear this: do not vibe code shit, bro. Like I know so many people vibe code.
But don't go lovable, no.
Don't jump on these websites where you want to build something and vibe code this. Like, and I'm specifically targeting things like cursor, do not Replit, do not fucking chat GPT the entire thing, or Claude,
Replit,
code. Bro, do not do any of that with this, because when shit goes wrong, and it will, you will have no fucking idea. And the Hyperliquid SDK is a community given SDK. And so even though I've probably done like 50K worth of volume, yeah, the person that wrote the TypeScript SDK has a referral code in the code. And so he gets some of my volume, and I'm happy to give it to him because I didn't write that TypeScript SDK. And I can take it away from him because I can just switch out the code that he has in there. But I haven't, because I'm giving back to the community that helped me to build a bot. So don't vibe code this. But now back to your question. How would I reduce the decay? All right, so the big money play here is, if you take this, which copies Hyperliquid, if you wanted to remove the fees, you could route it directly to another exchange, something like Mexi. So Mexi has 0% maker and taker fees.
Interesting.
I think they might. Yeah, I think it is 0%. Even if it's not Mexi, I think there's other platforms that will give you 0% maker taker fees. You could do that. You could take the trade from Hyperliquid with all this leverage, the position size, all of that, and then move it over and then trade it on API if Mexi will allow you to do API. And then that removes the fees. So that would mean that I would have basically doubled my portfolio size. Am I gonna do that? I might. But actually forget that. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna do that. I'm gonna see if
I convinced himself. No, I like that idea, because I think in any game, when you're, because the whole point of the bot is to be able to trade when you're not able to do it yourself. I mean, times where like you're stuck in a meeting and you really want to be active, volatile times, you know what I mean? Just kind of being ahead of the curve, being ahead of the plan, you know what I mean? Trading based on the system, not bias. That's what I love about the whole bot strategy. You know what I mean? Not like, man, but I really want that 77K BTC. Well, there's a 78K BTC in front of you. Like, this kind of decision is just good to kind of move it. So, I mean, thank you to Rick. To me, he's kind of shared some of the strategy, and I think that some of it is an excellent strategy. And then I think you do well for the viewers to go away and kind of explore their own strategy.
Yeah,
do what works for them,
bro.
That's true.
If people at home wanted to try this without having to build a whole Hyperliquid trading bot, you could literally go on Hyperliquid's leaderboard and you could say, I like how this trader's been doing, and I'm just gonna watch their trades. Like if they go long on BTC, like, and I'm not saying check it every 5 seconds, but some of these traders are not super active. You could be checking it every hour, just like set a reminder on your phone. Did they get into BTC? Let me look at BTC. Does it look like it's good to get into? Even if it's not, just throw like 2%. Like, we're talking, bro, look how small the portfolio is that I started with this. And even then, it's still like 2% of that $5. If it was a lot more, it could have been a lot higher, or I could have got wrecked completely. But you never know. But yeah, just go on a leaderboard and just watch it and decide you want to do this. Alternatively, Hyperliquid also has this thing called vaults, which means you can just deposit some money and someone will trade for you and they take a fee based on, Hyperliquid manages the whole thing. I think they take like 20% of the profit that you gain. So you can do it that way as well. But however you want to do it, but I reckon if you're in crypto and you're not trying some crazy ish like this, then you should, man, because what's the loss?
Especially in this kind of market where, like, you know, the market is not clearly, like, we're not in the only direction I see in crypto right now is downtrend. And you know what I mean? And then if you can make a case that we're actually ranging, and now I absolutely agree, and let me back that point. So times like this, when you're not sure which way to kind of place your trades, you know what I mean, you're getting washed, you're constantly losing, you behoove to kind of try different things. I mean, you never know. I mean, you might find a strategy that actually works. Like, look at what Ricardo thought up, and then it's be working for him. You don't know what you could think of if he, like, Harris, the way you approach your strategy will be different from the way I will approach it. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man. Shout out to Rick for sharing.
No, it's definitely a lot of alpha there. It's definitely a lot of alpha. And it'd be interesting to see what would have happened if the bot was on when Mantra dropped 92% in 1 hour.
Yeah, that would have been a sweet trade.
And lost 5.5 billion over about 24 hours or so. And if you don't know what Mantra is, where have you been? Mantra is one of the most hyped RWA projects, and that just stands for Real World Assets projects in the space. And yeah, so there are a lot of rumors going around, and some people suggested that the team dumped their tokens allegedly. They've obviously come out and made a statement to which it says, Mantra community, we want to assure you that Mantra is fundamentally strong. Today's activity was triggered by reckless liquidations, not anything to do with the project. One thing we want to be clear on, this was not our team. We are looking into it and we'll share more details about what happened as soon as we can. So obviously they fundamentally denied the fact that, you know, they had anything to do with it. But on top of that, there was $41 million of insider deposits to exchanges pre-crash. Trading volume was inconsistent with the $6 billion valuation. One of the suspicious things that happened was the Telegram channel was deleted during the crash. To be honest, having worked in community management, I can see why they have done that, but it doesn't look good. And obviously the team went dark after the price.
Nah, hold on. Sorry. Don't just glance over that. Working in community management, what is your reasons for why something like that could happen, bro? Like, why is that a good idea?
Listen, Harrison is first.
I'll tell you exactly why. So basically, deleting is a bit extreme. Maybe like turning off, making it one-way traffic so you can broadcast or something like that. That would have been better.
Yeah.
But delete the whole thing
That's exactly what happens.
Yeah. Because
that's exactly what you're meant to do. Turn off a comment.
Yeah.
And then let
no one can post.
Come back, then you turn back on.
You just say, look, this is what's happened. We acknowledge it. Yada yada yada. We're looking into it. This isn't the team. You know, we're here with you. We're gonna, work through this. All that jazz. Deleting it is not advisable. The only reason I said I could see why they did it is because obviously there are other channels, and Telegram, if you're not careful, can be quite messy. But it's not a good idea, and I wouldn't do myself. So it's not best practice. Put it that way. So yeah, it's like, it's funny because we keep talking about meme coins, they're bad. So okay, let's go into altcoins, into projects with, not just altcoins, projects with actual assets under management, and something like this can happen. And obviously there was accusations of market makers. Binance, funnily enough, anytime there's a scandal, Binance is always rearing its ugly head, and it's becoming a bit interesting that this is coming up. But Binance also made a statement. They said Binance is aware that OM, which is Mantra, the native token of Mantra, has experienced significant price volatilities. Our initial findings indicate that the developments over the past few days are as a result of cross-exchange liquidations. Since October of last year, Binance has implemented various, and then they obviously go on to make further comment. So yeah, what was your reaction when you guys first heard about this? And how can users sort of protect themselves against this sort of thing?
Hey, so when I first saw this crash on Sunday evening or something, I was like, raw. First of all, what's OM? Because I didn't know, because I actively ignored the RWA space. Had a little quick look. I saw that they had this agreement with Damak Properties in Dubai. And that was their play, basically. That's why a lot of people invested. I was like, oh, sick. Bro, what stood out to me when I dig deeper, so CoffeeZilla did an interview, and I've even watched the whole thing. I've seen snippets. But bro, that Mantra CEO, bro, he's giving me scammer vibes, man. I'm not even going to lie. I didn't even know the guy. And as a founder, hold tight him.
Allegedly.
Hold tight, exactly, allegedly. But I just think here, so they've changed their tokenomics a few times. Apparently, they've republished their tokenomics multiple times. The team owns 90% of the total supply. What? Cool.
What?
Yeah, bro. The guy, the founder, openly admitted on an interview with CoffeeZilla, that he has pumped the price, but he didn't want to say pump the price. He said basically, I've facilitated the price going up. You know what? Like, he wants to protect the downside of the price going through the floor. Okay. But CoffeeZilla said to him, did you buy some of your tokens and then get market maker to buy some of your tokens OTC to then, did you buy some of your tokens OTC and then sell them to market makers for market makers to do whatever they need to do in order for the price to go up? And he's like, yes. I'm like, bro, you tried to pump the price as well. So whole time he tried to pump the price, admitted that on a fucking interview with CoffeeZilla, which now has hundreds of thousands of views on YouTube.
He's screwed.
Scammer. And then the whole deal of looking on chain, and this isn't just me, Like I jumped on Arkham to check, but I'm on crypto Twitter and I'm seeing that there was this Laser Digital, this company put in about 41 million worth of OM tokens on OKX and Binance. And then they proceeded to sell those tokens. And that's what caused the massive drop. And he's like, yeah, it was because of exchanges. The exchanges forced liquidations. Bro, exchanges force liquidations when there's a problem. Like that's their whole business. They didn't just target Mantra and say we're gonna fuck up Mantra. Nah. So I think this entire thing was, bro. I remember, we spoke about Murad and his opinion on altcoins, and for once I agreed with this guy. I'm like, altcoins are vaporware, bro. Like this guy basically scammed his entire altcoin following, and now he's like, oh yeah, it wasn't us, it was the exchanges, and we tried everything we can, and apparently they're gonna burn some of the team tokens to regain investor trust. But yeah, I just think it's mad because they've been pumping the price of their token for the entire year, and if you look back at the price in January to post crash, like when it was like 50 cents or something, bro, the price of the token was still only down like 10% versus where they were in January when the year started. So they've been pumping the price the whole way. So this minus 6 billion, I don't even know. I don't even know where. I don't even know who jumped on it. They probably just saw Mantra as a coin that was going up, even when the market was turning, and decided to jump in. So, yeah, man. Also, bare scammers on X saying, "Oh, I lost 60 mil. I lost 10 mil. I lost X amount of mil on Mantra." Shut up. No, you didn't, but you're lying. Your anon account.
Everyone's trying to get a payout, man.
Everyone's trying to get something. What did you, man, think?
I'm gonna say something a little bit more. Obviously, I agree with everything you said. I mean, but one thing I would say is if altcoins are vaporware, meme coins are oxygen, fam. Carbon dioxide max. Because, bro, like, you know what I mean? Yes, altcoin, like you shouldn't go all into one coin. I think I always say, like, I mean, you know where you like what your safe havens are, like, you know, in the BTCs of the world, the Ethereums of the world, the even Solanas of the world, like, you know what I mean? Those kind of tokens you kind of lean on, put big money in them. But things like Mantra, something that just came in. I'm looking at the website now, just a bunch of, this is something you generate straight out of GPT, man. Like, I mean, leading RWA layer 1 blockchain capable of adherence and enforcing real world regulatory compliance. There's no real use case. And on top of that, let's dig deeper into their tokenomics. They have a max supply of infinity, bro. Infinity. So which means they can keep printing and printing more tokens. How was this worth 6-7 billion in the first place? I mean, if you're a trader and you're putting big money on these trades, then okay, cool, I get it. Trump is in the office, real world RWA sector's meant to be hot, but he's never been hot. It's like what Deepin was a couple of cycles ago, just a phase. Now he's actually got a legit sector. RWA is just something that's forced on X. You know what I mean? And then if you put big money on Mantra, I didn't even know about Mantra until you lot brought it up today. You know what I mean? This thing's built on Cosmos. Who's still bidding on Cosmos? Who? Like the fact that Cosmos, imagine, bro, this is how terrible Cosmos is. Yeah? And I think I used to love Cosmos. I held the token till it burned my hand. You create a chain, a blockchain, and you leave and go use other chains. Like, that is crazy to me. You know what I mean? It's like Vitalik. You know what I mean? Not. I'm just gonna leave it there, fam. If you lost money on this, you deserve to lose money on, man. Like, and I don't get what the narrative other than you go on X looking for alpha and then realizing RWA's prediction is meant to get hot, so you put money on OM. What? Wait. It's less than Binance. The reason why this thing's not zero right now is because Binance has not delisted it. The moment it gets delisted, it's going to zero. There's no amount of team member tokens being burned that will save this. It's over. When something crashes 90% in one day,
Luna.
Okay. This is Luna vibes. Literally.
Luna 2.0.
Describe it as Luna 2.0.
Literally, it is. And then it seems to me, people feel like because of the office that the administration that they have in the US right now, maybe it's okay to keep trying these borderline, you know what I mean, white collar crime and hope they get away with it or get like a slap on the wrist, like a fine or something. This is blatant. This is blatant scam. Like, you know what I mean? I'm talking about Octois level, fam. So there's no difference between what Octois did, ran away, and then obviously no one's chasing after her because she actually did it in a smart way. You put your name to the project, you attach yourself to it. You once even you even got caught on the podcast saying you sold tokens that you give it to market makers to do whatever they can to inflate the price. That's crazy. That's crazy. So yeah. Mantra is a no, fam. It just goes to show if all coin markets doing this, imagine what meme coins would do to you when it's their time to do ski.
Yeah, it's definitely crazy. Yeah, for me, I'd heard of Mantra before, mainly through some influencers who were already bullish on the RWA space.
And have animation already.
For me, I think that I never invested in Mantra, but I think it's really important to do your due diligence, even if you are hearing things from people who you might respect and think is reputable. Even if you hear stuff from us, don't just listen and say, "Oh, okay, these guys or whoever might recommend this project. So let me just go and put money in." At the end of the day, it's your hard-earned money. You need to go and do due diligence and make sure it's something worth investing in. But even in spite of saying that, you still you can do all the due diligence in the world and you can still get burnt. And unfortunately, if you still had Mantra up until this point, you're down to pennies on the dollar. So yeah, I think you just got to learn the lesson and just sort of move forward and see if you can rebuild that portfolio because it's really unfortunate. Is RWA a scam? No. Can you still make money in RWA? Sure. Is it going to be the hottest sector? Maybe not. Maybe it is. It's probably still got some legs because it's doing stuff in the real world and, TradFi and whatnot really like that sort of sector. So there's probably legs to it, but, you should probably look at companies or projects that have the right licensing.
Ondo is a good one. Ondo is something that
on those
they've been
interesting.
Because last cycle.
Checks is another one that's interesting. The price isn't reflecting that right now, but they've got licensing with I think in Singapore and whatnot. So yeah, they've got a lot of interesting things, and we're not going to go too deep into checks right now, but there's a lot of interesting products in the RWA space. So I wouldn't let this deter you, but just be careful out there. Just be careful. And on that note, we'll see you in the next one. Peace.